Another edition of the Tiny Babies. Um, I wanted to do another video because I found another one of the babies that I had purchased originally. I think he was one of my first full body silicone little babies. And so the little one that it is this little guy here. So here he is. And he's on this little satin blanket that I made with the Sweet Dreams. Let's show you the satin blanket. Here's this little bed. And there's this little satin blanket, satin pillow. And there's the Sweet Dreams that I embroidered on it. And here he is. I believe this little guy's name's Oliver. I think that's the name I picked for him. No, he's not Oliver. He is Cricket. And I'll show you some things that I had made for him. When I first got him, he kind of surprised me because the blue veining seemed a little too much. But then I've grown to really enjoy this little guy, and he's so cute, and he's got all the features so perfectly. His little mouth is open. He's got blue eyes and nose, and everything seems so perfect on him. And there's his little bottom. So let's give him a diaper and show you some of the other things that I've made for him. Here's a little crib. And let me move a couple things out of the way. And let me see. Should give him a little diaper. This is a little diaper that I made. So there he is in his little cloth diaper. You can see he's not very big. He fits right in my palms. And I call him Cricket. And I'll show you next about him. He has this little blanket that I made as well, and it has his name on it, Cricket. So we're going to lift him up and put his blanket down and let him lay on that. And some other things that I made for him was this little shirt, a soft t-shirt material. It's really easy to do. It's got these little tiny red buttons. They're so cute. Maybe the reason I love the little tiny full body silicones and mostly boys is because, let me tell you, back in 1997, I had my third child, and he was early, and didn't find out I had gestational diabetes till I was ready to give birth to him. And in the hospital, they did emergency C-section. But before they did that, they placed cream up inside me to try to get my uterus to contract and to get ready to give birth, but that didn't work. He actually died inside my tummy. And everybody got really scared because the doctor wasn't there. And then one of the nurses that was there did a uteral massage where she put her hands up inside of me and she brought my son back to life. And then they did emergency C-section on him. But that wasn't the end of our story. Because of gestational diabetes, he didn't eat good and he was weak, and he was only like 4 pounds when he was born. Actually a little less than 4 pounds. His head actually fit right here in the middle of my hand. And so when you have gestational diabetes, you have no sugar storage in all the vital parts of your body, which is your heart, your lungs, your pancreas, your kidneys, all the vital parts. And he had no sugar storage, so he didn't have no strength to eat or anything. So we had to learn to force feed him, and he was in the hospital, and they transferred him up to a ICU neonatal hospital, which was about 30 miles away. And I went with him in the ambulance. Not advised to, but I told him I wasn't leaving my baby. And then I stayed with him every day in the hospital in the mother's room. Not the most comfortable conditions, but I stayed with him. We took care of him for about 2 weeks. He wasn't getting better. Then we learned to force feed him, as I said. And my husband had to go home and take care of our two girls at the time, who were about 4 and 7. And he said he wasn't able to come up much anymore. And I was worried about that. And it was just before Valentine's Day. And so I went down to the chapel and I prayed all night, because they had been sticking him with needles to try to get his sugar storage to come up. And they told me that they're going to try just a little tiny bit of steroids. And guess what? When they gave him the steroids, he grunted like he was about 6 months old. And then I went down, and I had prayed in the chapel, the hospital, all night long. Went down and prayed in the chapel and just sat there and cried. And the next day, a miracle. My son, after being given the steroids and being force-fed, had a clean bill of health, and he was able to come home for Valentine's Day. He had been born in January. So thank goodness. He had been given January 29th, 1997. And they said he'd have a lot of problems, but his biggest problem left after all these years, he's almost 27 years old now, is that he can't feel his feet. So if you tickle his feet, he doesn't bother him at all. And he tends to get cold. So I always say if he gets wet, bring him extra clothes. And he is 6'3.5" or almost 6'4". So no other problems from him being so tiny and in the NICU. So let's go ahead and finish some more things that I made this little guy. I made him this little tiny hospital hat. There you are, Cricket. Isn't he adorable? And then he also has a little buddy, and his little buddy's name is Sydney. I made Sydney this little tiny blanket to sit on, because Sydney is very tiny. And here is Sydney. I'll show you him. I got him from Corning Museum of Glass up on Market Street. There's a little glass store where they make glass. And I found this little snail there. And I've never seen another one just like him. So I really like him. Isn't he cute? And that's his lovey, made out of glass. So that's Sydney and Cricket. And Cricket also has this little pillow for his hospital bed that I made. And what else do we have here? Oh yes, I made him a hospital band. Oh, I did name him Oliver. Goodness, I can't remember myself sometimes. Anyhow, his nickname's Cricket, and his name is Oliver Liam Noel. Oliver Liam Noel. And he is 4.7 centimeters and inches in length. And he is 2 ounces. That's how much he weighs. And I made this. And I'm going to snap that on him so I'll show you how it goes. There it goes. So he does have a hospital bracelet. Isn't he adorable? He's such a cute little guy. Hey, little Cricket baby. I think I don't have a magnet in him, so he has to have a little tiny pasty like this. A little clay pasty. Oops. Sorry. And there's his little pasty. And that's not all. He has another little cover blanket. And that would be Cricket and Sydney. I have another little diaper that I made for him or one of the tiny babies. Any of them can wear this. And then I bought this outfit for him from a lady over near Russia or Pakistan or something. I can't remember exactly, but she made these. It's got little socks and little pants and a little shirt. And I'll put them on him in another video. And his this little silicone girl that I showed in one of the other videos, she is made by the same artist. And I have her little outfit as well. She has this little sleeper and some little socks. And so in another video, I'll put these on the babies for you guys to see. So I guess that's all for this video since it's getting pretty long. Thank you for coming along to visit in this video. And we'll be back with the babies again. And show some more video. Bye-bye, little baby Cricket.